What's up, guys? It's Cole from Ohio Perspective Photography, and today I'm going to be going over all of my film stuff and film equipment. So basically what I use when I'm shooting film. And also, if the focus does any weird things, I'm trying to face detect continuous autofocus on my GH4, so we'll see what happens. And also, this is a Rode video mic test. I'm just using the Rode mic on camera to see what happens. And right now, it looks like it might do a pretty decent job, so we'll find out. So here we go. So I'm going to start off with kind of my prized film camera. And this is my Graflex Crown Graphic. This shoots 4x5s, or at least it was originally designed to shoot 4x5s. Built back in the 50s. You know, this is a press camera. This is basically the D4 of its day. You know, it was a journalist camera. Really strong metal box. It has this, like, kind of... Is my face text working? Okay, good. It has a trigger here to release the shutter. Basically pulls down, and it might not focus on it, but it pulls down a little arm there to trigger the shutter. But it's... basically, it's a... this is what used to be used for press. It has a sports finder on it. So you take this and you take that, and you literally have like a sports rangefinder type, not rangefinder, sorry. That's a bad word because rangefinders are not that. But like a sports thing. So it's like really big, it's just kind of like basic, and then there's also this still is a rangefinder. It's a viewfinder, and then there's a rangefinder on the side. And the way that it works is this little part that moves back here to focus. So you see it moves the bellows out and moves them back in. You align whatever lens you have on. So right now it's set it for this lens that's on there. You align that and the rangefinder will work, and also these, like, there's guides on here that you can use. But anyway, it shoots 4x5s. An awesome camera, good glass. I have two lenses for it. You know, I'm not big on in terms of my knowledge of like press lenses that have shutters in them. But these are good lenses. I get really sharp, really a lot of detail out of these lenses. It's a Schneider Kuronosh. I have no idea what that company is. Xenar, XEN, it's spelled XENAR. 1 to 4.7, so it's f4.7, 135 millimeters, which on 4x5, from my knowledge, this is basically a 50 millimeter lens on 4x5. But it's a good lens. It has shutter speeds from bulb all the way up to 1/500th of a second, and they just double, so they go 1 second, 1/2 second, you know, 1/5, 1/10, and they just get bigger and bigger. But anyway, it's a good lens. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the camera a lot. Ground glass on the back there. But you can also use the rangefinder and all that. So it's a really good all-round 4x5 camera. I also have another lens for it, and if you're wondering where I got this camera, these cameras are about... You can get them for $400 or $500, a good one, on eBay with a single lens. And I got this camera from my grandfather. This is my grandfather's camera. I have one more lens for it. This is an Astragon 300 millimeter lens. So the one is a 135. This is a 300. This would be like a portrait lens. I use this for portraits. Great lens. It's a f5.6, but I mean, think about it. Especially back then. It's still difficult for companies like Hasselblad. If you go and look at Hasselblad lenses, there aren't really many f2.8 lenses. They basically start at f3.5. Because if you look at that, I mean, let me open up the shutter here and open it all the way, the aperture. And look at that. That is a piece of glass, and it is a good piece of glass. I mean, this big. There's a big element on there. And it's got to expand it over a very large surface, 4x5. That's way bigger than medium format even. So that's why these lenses are so, in 35 millimeter terms, not nearly as fast. But the depth of field at 4.5 or 3.5 or 5.6 or whatever it might be, the depth of field is razor thin because it's on a big, essentially was a giant sensor. I mean, it's bigger than a medium format sensor. I'm shooting on a GH4, that's micro four thirds, that's a tiny, tiny sensor. This is at f2.8, the lens is currently f2.8, look at the depth of field. You know, the depth of field on this is razor thin. But anyway, great lens, both of them. I love shooting with that camera, it works really well. So I'm going to put that back in here, and here's my grandfather's writing from the 50s on the box. It's probably not focused, probably staying on my face. Maybe I can use object detect or something, see what happens. Anyway, I have 5 film holders. 2 of them are over here. Yeah. So, so these are the film holders. These are the 4x5 film holders. Except one of them only has one slide in it. So I have essentially 9 pieces of film loaded at a time. And I use the whole, you know, it's black so it's exposed versus it's silver so it's not exposed. That's what I do. I know some people, they do the opposite. I just do it that way. What else? I also have this for it. This is a 120 film holder. I'm actually just gonna rip the film out of this. I don't even know. I haven't shot with this in a very long time, so I actually don't. I was stupid. I never marked what film is in here. It's either Ilford Delta 100 or HB5 400. But yeah, this 120, so it's good for just if I want to use the Crown Graphic to shoot 120 and just kind of shoot around. That's what I usually use is this instead of wasting my 4x5 sheets because it is expensive and film in general is expensive. But it's nice to have this. You know, it gives you a little bit tighter of a shot because essentially you have a crop factor now. But I really do. I like having the 120 back. It's definitely very versatile. It gives me actually a little bit more reach if I need to zoom in or something. And I've kind of learned using the viewfinder on the back and also on the ground glass. My grandfather way back when marked out what the 120 looks like so that I can use the ground glass and line up for a 120 and shoot 120, which is really good. That's basically it. What's in there for my old stuff. I mean, I have a light meter, Sekonic light meter and all that in there, and like a little loop and stuff like that. But that's basically it for what I have for the Crown Graphic. I'll show you my other 2 cameras now. Forgot to grab it before I set up, so it's right here. This is my 81, pretty standard, basic film camera. Got this for like 30 bucks at a. It was my first ever film camera. Got it for 30 bucks at like a flea market. You can get these for cheap, but you can get them with good glass. It's still in it. This is a 50mm f1.8 Canon FD lens. Good camera. It's got a built-in light meter that's accurate still. Although my sister was playing with the camera and she broke off my battery door, which kind of sucks. But the battery stays in there, so I just use it. I mean, it's 30 bucks. It's not that big of a deal. I kind of want to get a rangefinder or a better one, and also I have Nikon glass. So I kind of want to get like an FE2 or FE3, something that fits current Nikon glass. But yeah, good camera. It's totally manual in the sense that you set your shutter speed and you set your aperture with your ISO. So your ISO's set in there based on what film you have. And then you set your aperture and shutter speed. And basically what happens is based on what shutter speed you set, the light meter will tell you what aperture to set. So that's how you work with that. But anyway, good cameras. These I recommend for anybody getting into film. You can get them for cheap, whether it's Canon, Nikon, Pentax. Just make sure you get one that has accurate shutter timings and a decent lens that isn't fogged up or anything. You'll probably find them with a 50mm or something like that. But you can get these for super cheap. You know, FE2s, FE3s, AE1s. You know, there are a lot higher end ones, more expensive. Obviously, you can go like, you know, Leicas and things like that, you know, $1,000 film cameras. That's really something if you're really into shooting film. These are just kind of for fun. I really like it. You know, I carry this around outside. I don't care if, you know, if this gets stolen, it's 30 bucks. You know, I've gotten my $30 of use out of this thing definitely, so, you know, it's no big deal. And you can find these everywhere. You know, Canon AE1s. I really like it. Good camera, definitely. A good option for your first film camera. And I have one more camera. I have a Polaroid. This is a Landcamera 100, and I've got to stock up on FP3000B and FP100C, because I'm sure FP100C, if it probably going to go away soon, and FP3000B has been discontinued for a long time, I've heard, but I can still find it everywhere on Adorama and B&H and stuff like that. But probably should stock up on 3000B. I love 3000B. I like the colors on 100C, but 3000B I just like so much better. It's so good for shooting indoors. It really is. You know, I far prefer shooting indoors with 3000B. 100C, it's too slow. The lens is not fast enough. I should actually have the camera in the frame, but the lens is not fast enough for 100 ISO film in even light like what I'm in now. It just doesn't work. So 3000B though, that is a great film for indoors. I love when I have family over, family reunions, putting 3000B and shooting with this. Great camera. I have done the battery mod where you, so that I can put AAA batteries in here, because I ordered a battery that was supposed to fit in here, and it like said it was delivered, never showed up. So that's how that went. But anyway, this good. It's a rangefinder style camera, so you use the rangefinder to focus, but it's a dual thing. So there's a viewfinder. So there's not an integrated. It's a viewfinder, then a rangefinder is over here to focus. And it's really simple. It's auto exposure, and it's basically a fixed aperture camera. And you basically just set it. So there's an indoors, so there's a black and white and a color. And the color's a little interesting because it says bright sun only, and then there's another one that says bright sun or dull day, also for flash. So it's like two that are say bright sun, but it's like one is just basically a smaller aperture than the other. So black and white, it's like outdoors or flash. That makes this aperture smaller. And the other one is indoors without flash, is basically how I use it. Just bigger aperture. If I'm inside, set it to the bigger aperture. If I'm outside, set it to the smaller aperture. Really simple. And then on the bottom here, there's a wheel. You can't read it, but I have it set to 75 for my film speed, because there was no 100, but there's a 3000, and basically that sets your ISO film that you have in here, so that the little light meter, which is right there, can pick the proper exposure. But anyway, it's a good camera. It's always cool. People love seeing this because it looks really cool. Simple camera to use. I love shooting Polaroids. Sad to see them go, but it's gotta happen. I love the land cameras. I thought, you know, should I get an SX70 or something? But the thing about land cameras is the prints are so big. The SX70 prints are not as big. You know, I just wish there were some good, and also it's so expensive as well to buy an SX70 or something, and I got this for 30 bucks. You know, I hate seeing Polaroid go. You know, that's kind of how it is. Like classic Polaroid, you know, with you peel off the tape, not instant film. It's like stuff from Impossible Project is instant film. Fold that up, and it folds up pretty small. I mean, that's a good package. You know, I've got a couple of prints here. I've got another stack over behind the camera, but you know, I like them. That's what something like, it's not gonna be focused, but whatever. Let's see if it focuses. Nope. But that's kind of I guess you can see the colors on black and white, and the colors on color film. There's another one. There it is. So you see how it works with the greens, kind of. But yeah, I like it. Looks cool. They look old. I like those shots. Now we are on to film. I've got a box of it, a big box. But I can go pretty quick because I basically use Ilford Delta 100 and Ilford Delta 400, just 400. It's Ilford Delta 400 for my 35mm film. Then for 120, it's either Delta 100 or HP5 400, and for 4x5, it is HP5 400. That is all I shoot, and then for Polaroid, FP100C or FP3000B. I've got a lot of film, but that's all I use. Just looking in there, let me get a bunch of the things out of there. Let me put, move a bunch of stuff and hold up the box. There's a lot of film in there. I've got two 100 packs. One's about half full. So I got basically 150 unexposed sheets of 4x5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 rolls of HP5 120 film. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 rolls of Ilford Delta 100 120 film. 4 rolls of Delta 135. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, there's a few other rolls of, if I didn't count those, there's a few other rolls of 120, 100. And then 8 rolls of, let me think as to what I'm saying, 8 rolls of Delta 400, wow, sorry. 8 rolls of Delta 400 35mm, and then I've also got like 2 other rolls in my bag. I got a lot of stuff, and then I have 1 pack of 3000B, my 1 other pack of 100Cs, and my Polaroid. I gotta order more of this stuff. I love it. I need to get a lot of it. I might splurge and buy like and spend like $200 and get like 10 packs of 3000B, just to have my last run of like 100 exposures of 3000B, and that'll be it. Because I'm sure at some point they're gonna run out. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video from Hyperfocus Photography. I hope you liked it. Remember to hit the like button if you like the video, dislike button if you dislike the video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and also hit that subscribe button. I'll be making more videos like this as much as possible. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.